Representative Gene Ward with Jeff Bloom, the State Coordinator of STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And Jeff, you were the coach of the Iolani Six, the girls who blew the nation away and took a victory. Tell us a little about what happened.
Okay, I wasn't the coach. Their coach was Dr. Carrie Inouye for Iolani School. I was the state coordinator, which worked with 15 different high schools in the state of Hawaii to coordinate preparing young people for this challenge. The challenge came from the Department of Energy with some partners, both FAA as well as some industry partners, Parametric Technologies and others, that we were one of the 10 states that were selected to do the pilot year this year on Real World Design Challenge. The challenge this year was an aviation challenge, and it was given to any school that wanted to participate. We did professional development for the teachers, and then we had support for them during the fall, where the teams of students were to build an airplane, a wing of an airplane.
Literally,
yes,
challenge was
design.
Build,
yes.
Had they ever built a wing of an airplane before?
Probably not. And this was using very sophisticated CAD software that would do the design. And then they would be able to use some sophisticated testing software to be able to put it in an air tunnel to be able to test it and make sure that their design actually held up the specifications. And they were to reduce the fuel consumption, so increase fuel efficiency, while also having lift and drag. So be able the plane can fly, plane has less drag and more fuel efficiency. That was their challenge. They did that in the first round. Our state winner was Iolani. It was an all-girls team from Iolani School who won the state challenge, called the Governor's Challenge. And then our state winners went with the other state winners who won the Governor's Challenge in their states to Washington, D.C. for the national challenge. They then had another 3 weeks to do a different challenge, but similar, using the same tools, but using a plane flying at Mach 1, basically, so at the speed of sound, to reduce fuel efficiency, and they presented in Washington, D.C. And then the final 3 teams got to present at the Air and Space Museum at the Smithsonian and were judged on their presentation and their findings. And Iolani School made it through all the hoops, and they actually won at Air and Space Museum.
Who did they beat, Jeff? Who are some of
They beat the 2 teams that they beat, and the finals was from Pennsylvania, team from Pennsylvania and team from Massachusetts. And then in the 10 teams that went to DC, there were teams from Virginia, let's see, Oklahoma, I can't remember all the teams, but obviously Pennsylvania, Massachusetts.
Did you find as the #1 winner that, oh, you guys are from Hawaii, did they kind of not take you as serious? I have a bit of an anecdote. When I worked in Washington, I would say, yeah, I did study it, I did get a Ph.D. And they said, oh, you got a Ph.D. in what? Surfing?
Yeah.
Taking Hawaii seriously.
When Hawaii first got there, I think a lot of people probably discounted them, especially seeing an all-girl team. The other states that came, I don't think any of the teams had more than maybe 2 young women on their teams. A lot of the teams were all boys. So I think they probably weren't taken seriously when they just, all the kids got together and looked at each other. But when they saw their presentation that morning, I'm sure they were surprised. And then when we went to the national finals and they saw that at Air and Space Museum, they knew that Hawaii definitely is on the map, and Hawaii is not just sun and fun.
Speaking of the map, the question always is, where do we go from here? What do we need to do to get traction? Jeff, I know you've been leading the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math Task Force, the STEM Task Force. We're trying to get I think it's an attachment with groups like this, the BAE and others. What do we need to do to get more involvement and get more of our technology and diversification of our economy moving?